Hey there, Cozy Babe, and welcome back to the coziest corner of the internet. My name is Chloe Taylor, and today we are talking about not getting the winter uglies. Okay, I don't know where this term actually is coined from. I have only heard of this on the Hot Girl Energy podcast. This is what she refers to as basically when you just feel like gross in the winter. And I'm going to give you my definition of the winter uglies. There might be other ones out there, but when I think about what it means to have the winter uglies, first and foremost, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is, girl, it's fall. The fall equinox happened on September 21st. What are you talking about? It is November. We're not there yet. Listen, I don't need to explain myself to anyone, but I am a firm believer. And if you look back on older episodes of my podcast, you will know that I talk about this. I am a firm believer that the moment daylight savings time happens, the moment we fall back for the fall, it's now winter. We now have to prepare for the winter season. And that is because number one, Halloween is over. I have been celebrating fall since August because I don't like summer. I get that summertime sadness, okay? I don't really do summer. I am a like fall all summer long. I have done celebrated fall to death. By the time it is Halloween, I have Christmas coming out my hole. I am just like so beyond ready to get the Christmas spirit going, to get the winter, the Yuletide season fully engaged. Well, not 100. Like we still got our Halloween stuff up, our fall stuff up in the podcast room. I do not have my whole house decked out or anything, but to me, getting out of the winter uglies is really about how it is like a slippery slope into seasonal depression where I live specifically. I say that because I live in the Pacific Northwest. Y'all already know it's a beautiful Pacific Northwest day. We need merch that says that. It's a beautiful Pacific Northwest day. It's a beautiful Pacific Northwest day, but in the wintertime here, the sun sets at 4 p.m. By the time the winter solstice happens in December, the sun is setting at 4 p.m. Girl, she is, what are we even doing? We're so cooked. So right now, to me, between now and that solstice, which is when winter technically starts, we're actually descending into the darkest part of the year. And the winter solstice is actually like a celebration of the light returning because the winter solstice is the darkest night of the year. And then it only increases from there. So to me, this is like the preparation. Okay. So we're not like full blown. We have Christmas everywhere. The Grinch is in the background 24/7. I'm not fully there yet. I'm not committed to all that. But I recognize that I have to start taking my winter prep very seriously because it is a slippery slope into seasonal depression and the winter uglies. So the elephant in the room is I understand that it's not winter. I understand that we have a lot of time before that happens. But if I am being honest about my mental health, I have to kind of start thinking about it right now. So the winter uglies to me is when, like, you know how in the winter, especially if you live somewhere that has a colder climate, you just feel like you want to be in like full blown hibernation mode, which nothing wrong with that. I think powering everything off by the time it's dark outside, that's definitely on my agenda for the winter. Okay. I don't believe in hustling until your fingers fall off all day, every day. I did that. Okay. My 20s were for that. In my 20s, I hustled day in, day out, morning, night, didn't care what the weather was like, was not even beginning to notice the cyclical nature of nature or myself. And my 30s are not for that. If I want to hibernate like a bear after 4 p.m., I'm allowed to do that. But I do feel like it's the hours where the sun is up that if I don't do something with that time most of the time during the winter, we get the winter uglies, which is dull skin. The hair is not hairing. We're not feeling good. We're not moving the body. And it's like basically just like a 24/7 bed rot, except there's a Christmas tree in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And I myself am extremely susceptible to this. Okay. I have told you time and time again, bestie, that bed is my favorite location on the face of the earth. You know, I like to think that I want to be a well-traveled girly, that I want to see the world. And then like I leave my house for 12 hours and I'm like, I miss my bed and my cats. I want to go home. I think that's on being a Taurus though. Like Tauruses, let me know if that's how you feel. I am definitely like, I do supreme bed rotting. Okay. When I bed rot, it is to the 10th degree and I will be there for a week straight if I am not taking care of myself. So That is the vibe. Okay. We don't want to be doing the winter uglies because suddenly you wake up 4 days into your bed rot and you're like, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I look off? Why does my body feel off? Why do I feel like I just want to cry? Why does the day passing mean nothing to me? That's what we're trying to avoid. So, how do we combat this? How do we start and begin to prepare for this time period? That's what I want to talk to you about. I have three major points, and then I feel like our Yapper Girl corner of today's episode is going to be kind of long because, girl, we've been gone for 2 months. Where have we been? We'll talk about that later in the episode. The first thing I feel like is you must establish your routines. I am such a big fan of changing out your routine every single season because it changes a little bit, right? You know, in the summer, you might be up doing your green smoothie, what have you, go into the little farmers markets. You know, there's different activities that you might include in a weekly routine or a daily routine. Obviously, probably not a farmers market, but you get what I'm saying. I feel like it feels different to do certain things at different times. And I actually think this is like the gift of seasons. And something that I very much have had to learn in my 30s is that we have to save certain things for certain times to keep them sacred. And more on that in a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. But with routines, I think it's always a wonderful idea at any point, at any day, at any time, when you feel like your routines are not functioning for you or you are not getting anything out of the routine that you're in, be it you change it every month or once per season. I think it's valid to say, are these routines serving me? And then how can I change it up? I love changing a routine for a season. So for the winter time, I am going to go in on this in a full-blown episode. Y'all love my routine episodes, especially those of you on Spotify. Those are like some of my most listened to episodes are the ones where I am talking about like what exactly I am doing, what is in my regimen, what are the products, the wellness things that I'm really focused on, what are my goals and ambitions, and we're going to do a whole episode on that. So don't you worry, I will be coming back for that. I don't want to go too in depth here because I want to save that for that episode. But I would say at this point in time, just ask yourself about the routines you already have and how you can kind of change those up. Like something I think I would incorporate for myself as it's been getting very cold here where I live is I think I would put a bath in my evening routine, just like getting into a bath, even if it's for 15 minutes, just to warm my body up before bed. Or I also really like, and this was actually a recommend from my therapist. And I was like, girl, you don't even understand how you just changed my mother effing life. She recommended putting my blanket, my like blanket that I sleep with at night into the dryer before I go to bed. That is such like a simple care task that has completely revolutionized how I go to bed. So like putting your blanket into the dryer, getting into bed with a really nice hot blanket if it's cold where you are, or a hot cup of tea, or my favorite thing that you will hear me talk about more in the future is like, once it is dark outside, work no longer can commence. Work is now done and I'm going to have dinner and I'm going to get into bed and like do my little cozy activities in bed. And that like, I can do that at any point in time, but in the winter, it just hits different because it's already dark and like I'm here for a winter hibernation. Okay. Like I said, we are not doing hustle culture. I am not the girl. If you're like, let's winter arc, I'm not the one. I am not the one. Do not come to me for that. I am here for winter girl hibernation, winter girl bear mode. I am here to just chill. Also, if it sounds like I've been eating cigarettes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, my voice sounds all husky and weird. It's because I've been sick. And I woke up this morning and I couldn't even like meow. Like me and my husband communicate through different meows because that's who we are. And like, listen to this. Meow, meow. I can't even do it. Like, so if my voice sounds all like sexy phone service husky, just like count your blessings. I'm just blessing you with this husky voice. I could not take another week off. I missed you all too much. Okay. So that's why just reconsidering your routines. Look at what you've been currently doing. Ask yourself what you can add in or what you can take away if there are less things you could be doing right now. The next thing to me is that you need to do the most exciting part of getting ready for winter, which we talked about last year. I think I have an episode I can link down below for y'all that I will, um, that was like all about this topic. But me and my home, we do something called the Winter Feast every year. And basically, it's just a Word document. I will link you to a version of mine if you want to see this in action. It's just like a spreadsheet or Word document. I can't remember which I did, but I'm literally going to copy this into this year's and just put new items on it. The Winter Feast is basically a spreadsheet that you put everything that you're excited to do this winter on. So for me, this is going to be rewatching all the Harry Potter movies. I'm going to be rereading ACOTAR, and actually on my Patreon, shameless self-plug moment, on my Patreon, we are rereading ACOTAR this month. Like that is something that over the next month, I don't even know if I've announced it yet, so you might know about this before they do, but we're going to be rereading ACOTAR, or reading, if you haven't read it for the first time, A Court of Thorns and Roses together. I'm like vlogging my entire experience, and then chapter by chapter or every few chapters, I'm like checking in and talking about it. And at the end of the month, you'll have that video to kind of reflect on or read with if you want to wait until then. It's totally up to you. But this is actually my second read through of ACOTAR, and it's something I have saved all year long. I've been like, I want to reread ACOTAR this winter. So that's on my winter feast list. Doing all kinds of activities, going to a Christmas market, wrapping Christmas gifts, sending out a Christmas card, getting a Christmas photo. There are so many different things to add to this list, because I feel like, once again, when you think about like the winter uglies, to me, it is being cold and alone in bed, cold and alone and dry and dull, and just like not feeling good about that experience. And like, I think it's also a disconnect from other people, because especially if you don't live in like Denmark where they practice hygge, it's a time where you can be like so inward that it can, for me, it can lead me to just depression in general, not just seasonal depression, but like actual clinical, I am so lonely, I don't know what to do with myself or how to get out of it. And so like I have to give myself these things to look forward to. So planning little things with friends, like I have friends coming for Thanksgiving this year. I'm so excited about that. That is going to be so like fun, and a fun thing to do with other people. So just things like that, planning little outings, planning things to do with other people, things that don't just keep you inside every single day. Though, like I said, I am pro hibernation. I think it's good to connect as well. So saving things for this time, which I've already been doing all year, and keeping a list of those, and then including things that include other people and solo things. So my list for winter, I do one of these kind of every season, but my one for winter is always the longest. And I think that's because I know that mentally for myself, this is a time period where I struggle the most. And because of that, I kind of have to be a lot more vigilant. Is that the word I'm looking for? I have to be a lot more proactive. And if you're somebody that struggles in this way, try it. I honestly attribute my winter feast list to the thing that I think last year kept me from getting seasonal depression. I didn't get seasonal depression until like March of last year. March of this year. And then it was almost over. So I think that's amazing. Usually I would get seasonal depression before Christmas. So the fact that I didn't get it, I honestly think it was because I had so much to look forward to last year, and I made that happen. It wasn't like, oh, life is going to happen to me and I'll just wait for it to come. It was me being proactive right now that helped that. So anyways, my bad. I was like, let me tell you about Patreon, shameless self-plug, and then I didn't even plug it. Can you tell that I'm out of practice with the podcast? Anyways, shameless self-plug. If you're not following my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Chloe Taylor. And we do tarot, astrology. I vlog over there. We're going to be starting up another book club. We had a book club forever ago, but I was doing it in a way that I did not like. this is us launching into it again and doing it in a new way that I think I'm going to like more. So we're starting up a book club. This can definitely be part of your winter feast. I'm sure we'll read another book before the holiday season even hits. So I'm excited about that, especially if you're into like fiction, as especially like smut fiction and self-help. Those are like the two categories that I like the most. And I want to read these books as a collective together. And I'll probably also, like, obviously, I think we're going to do ACOTAR 1 and 2. And then from that point, I'm going to start posting like polls so y'all can help us choose which books you want to read every month. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be on the Patreon. And honestly, it's just a good time. It's a great way to support me as a small creator. It makes this show completely possible. So if you just want to support me, that's wonderful and I would appreciate it. And I think my Patreon is totally worth it. Like, I actually think that I over deliver on Patreon when I like have people's Patreons that I'm a part of. I'm like, dang, I do so much for my patrons. So definitely join my Patreon, especially now that I quit my other YouTube gig. I have so much more time for Patreon now. So I would love to see you over there. Please join us. Please, please. This kind of leads me into my third and final point, which is making plans with other people. So it can be with your mom, your cat, your dog, your significant other, but doing things that take you out of your typical comfort zone, I think are so important, not only to like expanding you, but I used to be the kind of person. So I'm just speaking from me, you might have had a totally different experience, but I can only ever speak from my own perspective. And I used to be the kind of person that believed life was always happening to me. And I would complain about not having friendships. I would complain about never having anything to do or being bored or feeling alone or lonely. And the reality of the situation is, especially if you, like me, move to a new town, okay? Move to a new town where you don't know anyone, you have no connections. You have to be the person that is going to pull yourself out. Nobody is going to come to your front door and make plans with you unless you already have established connections. Then like maybe that will happen. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. It's fine. But it is my opinion that life is not going to just happen to you. You have to grab the reins and say, okay, I'm struggling with connection and I need more of that in my life this season. What can I do? And I think so many people want to have a village, but people do not want to be villagers. And this was a problem I had. Okay. I was like, I want to be part of a village. Let me be part of it. But then I would cancel plans left and right and not reestablish new plans. And so I got to this place where now if I have to cancel a plan, 9 times out of 10, I will say, hey, I'm really sorry I can't make this. And I mean it. I'm really sorry I can't make this work. Can we meet up at this day at this time? I will give another option or a couple of options. And I will make sure that I have a follow-up situation scheduled when I am canceling the plan. Because it's valid to cancel a plan. It's valid whether it is for your own, like you just want to be home, which valid, just not all the time. Or you're sick or something came up or, yada, 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 yada. The list never ends. If something genuinely comes up, it's okay for you to say, hey, I can't make that, but give an immediate follow-up. Say, can we do it this day at this time? I'm sorry, I can't make your event. I would have loved to have come. Can you and I meet up for coffee at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, November, blah, blah, blah. That is being a villager. That is showing up and saying, hey, canceled this, but here's the follow-up and here's how we're going to repair. And this is something that has leaps and bounds changed a lot of the relationships that I have. Like, I actually have friends now. We haven't done the like full-blown friendship episode still. It's been over a year since the last one that I made, but I actually have people that I see all the time now. And I don't feel lonely. I'm not alone. And it was through my own effort of like being somebody that was very proactive, and I would constantly make myself converse. I would do the uncomfortable thing that is asking for a stranger's phone number, that is putting myself in a group setting and saying, hey, I'm here. How can I support this group? How can I be here? What can I do? And It is scary if you're not used to doing it, but eventually it becomes second nature, just like anything in life. And I think one of the greatest quotes you can remind yourself of if you're somebody that struggles with this is you have to be bad to get good. Like whenever you're doing something, whether it's like a social thing or you're trying a new skill and you're nervous, tell yourself that I have to be bad so I can get good. Like so many of us are so scared to like make a fool of ourselves or do something and be bad at it. What is that? Who did that? Who hurt all of us? But like, you have to be bad at things so you can be good at things. You know, you think on your deathbed, you're going to be disappointed in it. Like, I think for myself, if I was on my deathbed, I would be so disappointed in all of the things I did not try because I was afraid of what? People that I don't even know making judgments about me. If somebody is not living life the way I would like to be living it or offering me some kind of like new perspective, I don't want to take their advice or their judgment or criticism anyways. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's on confidence, baby. But, and also people don't just wake up confident. That is something you have to work on. That's a side tangent. But yes, make plans. Even if you're an anxious baby, as I myself have been, even if you're anxious, even if it's scary, even if it scares you, make a plan. Do it with somebody that you do feel comfortable and safe with, and then maybe try to expand from there. Because something else, I don't know why I'm feeling so called to speak on this. I don't know who out there, and if this is you, please comment. Something that I will always, always, always remind you is something that is like such a pet peeve of mine is when I hear people say that they don't like people. Listen, bestie, it's not that you don't like people, period. It's that you have surrounded yourself by the wrong ones, or they are just around you. The wrong people are around you. But your entire life, anything you want to do or accomplish, anything is going to come by the way of people. If you want to start a YouTube channel, it's going to be your audience, which is people. If you want to become a cosmetologist, it's going to be your clients, which are people, or the people that are teaching you. Teachers are people. If you want to go get your driver's license, you're going to have to interact with a teacher. You're going to have to interact in a classroom. People, 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 people. You, no matter what you want to do, anything in your life, I will argue it is going to come by the way of people. And you have to get out of your head that idea that people suck or that they are the worst or that you don't like people or you don't want to surround yourself with people. This is not me saying that you have not been victimized by people. This is not me saying that people have not done you wrong or done you dirty or that you have not had negative experiences with people, because that's where that belief comes from, is having repeated terrible experiences with people that don't have your best interests at heart. But it only takes one solid good friendship to show you the way it should have always been and how good people can be. And like, not everybody's like that. Think about yourself as a friend to someone else. You wouldn't treat somebody the way that you potentially have been treated, right? So there are more of you that exist. There are what, like 8 billion people in the world? There are people out there that are for you. You just can't expect them to come beating your door down looking for you. You're going to have to go out there and look for them. I'm also a big believer in it sometimes is location, and I understand that it is a privilege to move locations, not something everybody has access to. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you from, waving your freak flag and seeing who comes out for it. Do not let that be the thing that stops you. Anyways, I don't know why I felt like I had to go in on that tangent about friendship and like putting yourself out there and creating a village yourself. But I just want the best for you. I really mean that. Like, I know what it feels like to be so isolated and alone and like literally want to unalive because I was so alone. And I know what the reverse of that feels like and how much better it feels to find connection and friendship and build relationships. And I know what it feels like to have a different experience. And if I could say anything to that past version of myself that was really alone, it would be these things. I wish I could have been next to me telling me all of these things. So you have to make plans with other people, getting yourself into doing something fun, something new. Like plan a hot tub night if you have access to that. Plan an ice skating night. Plan a board game night, a puzzle night. I have friends coming for Thanksgiving this year. I'm really excited about that because I'm hosting. Y'all know I'm the hostess with the mostest. And I'm planning like a vision board night with some local friends. I'm excited about that. I know I know me and my husband are going to hit up a Christmas market this year, guaranteed. Like there's so many things to look forward to. I'm actually really excited about the winter season this year. So that's what I'm feeling for like how we are getting into like winter is coming. This is the prep we are starting right now. And now I feel like we need to go talk to future Chloe about the Yapper Girl Corner that I'm like a little bit nervous to film for some reason. Y'all, you know that the winter season is creeping in because Cranberry Fizz is back. Cranberry Fizz, the poppy is back. Okay. That's how you know winter is coming. Y'all, welcome into the Yapper Girl Corner. If you're new here, this is the segment of my podcast where we just talk about life. We just catch up. I have been nervous about this segment because I have been gone for 2 months. I have not uploaded since I think it was like late September. My last episode was put out on September 14th. Ooh, Chile. Yeah, by the time you see this, it will literally have been almost 2 months because October, November. Like, this was not done on purpose. Let me just tell you, I did not leave on purpose. This was a non-intentional thing. And I actually think it would be such a good podcast episode to talk about social media detox because I've talked about it in the past, but I actually did one. And this detox lasted, I basically deleted a bunch of stuff at the end of August. It's been almost 3 months since I like privated all my social media accounts, deleted a bunch of stuff. And like, y'all, I just do not engage anymore. Also, if my set looks weird today, it's because my friend came and stayed with me for like 10 days and we had to squeeze a twin bed into this room and we just haven't put it back. So my office is like crunched in the corner right now. And that's why the set looks weird. The lighting is weird. Hopefully by the next episode, it will look better. And we'll like fan back out. But in any case, I deleted all my social media at the end of August or like took it all off my phone, blocked it on my computer, and I have just been living life. I have just been doing a bunch of like physical media. I've been 90s maxing. Okay. I've been living like it is 1998. I got a new car. Well, a new to me car. I don't think I've talked to you since my car got repossessed. And we didn't have one. I got a car and it is from the 1900s. It is a 1999 Honda CRV. Her name is Sabrina. We love her. She takes me everywhere I need to go. She is a clanker for sure. But ever since I got a car, like, girl, it's got a CD drive in the car. I listen to my CDs. They skip when we go over speed bumps. I feel like I'm 90s maxing. I've been collecting DVDs again and like watching stuff on DVD instead of streaming services. I've been back into reading physical books, though I am still using my Kindle. I use that more out of convenience at night because it has a light in it and I don't have to have a book light. But yeah, I just feel like I have been living like fully off the grid and I have to tell you, life is better. Like, I don't know how to tell it to you any other way, bestie. It's better. I'm happier. My mental health is better than it has ever been. Like, I feel so good. I feel so much more confident. I'm so much happier. I also just was sick for like about 5 or 6 days. I meant to come back to the podcast last weekend, but it just did not happen because I was sick. And also I had company that was just here and I was like, well, it's just not going to happen this week and that's okay. My husband also just started a second job. So, like, we've kind of been in transition of like what our roles look like. And I, at this point in time, do not have to work if I don't want to. And that has never been the case. For my entire adult life, I have always had to be bringing in money. And that has been like a massive weight off my shoulders of not having to worry and think about that. A privilege, but something that I feel like has also really helped my mental health as I've been in therapy. I don't know if I've talked to you. I started therapy. I think y'all knew I started therapy. I started therapy. My role in my relationship changed a little bit to like now I'm doing most of the housekeeping and I'm not having to focus so much on work all the time. Um, yeah, I feel like my life went through like a major transition. And something that also I don't think we talk about enough in today's world is the in between. Like, we always see people with like their start point or their end point. And I don't think we focus a lot on the in between when people don't really know what they're doing yet and they're kind of floundering. I feel like I've spent the last couple months kind of floundering a little bit. And I hadn't set up like a proper routine for myself. I just kind of let myself heal. I was like, I've been living in a state of fight or flight for such a long time. And I am so like, even my husband is like, Chloe, morale in the house is so high. Like, I can just tell that you are so much happier and so much more in love with life. And you have like so much more magnetism about you. And also, like, I've been really working on my relationship with food. That is something that I don't know when we will cover that, but I have been like really in the trenches with that. In the trenches, like healing that. And just doing so much mental work. So, in a good way, it's been a good thing. I'm not mad at all. This has been this is something that me 4 years ago would have given anything to have the privilege that I currently have right now. That is to take my time to actually heal and not have to focus on healing and keeping my head above water and not drowning. So, right now, I feel like I'm not drowning and I'm able to just focus fully on my healing journey mentally, physically, spiritually. And yeah, I just kind of took that in and was like, you know what? When I've got more to say, I will come back to the podcast. I am sorry that I didn't say anything. I feel bad about that, but I also feel like recently, I think it was Kaylin Nicholson, if y'all follow her, she was recently talking about this on her podcast, Coffee Talk, where it might have been in a members video. So you might have to join if that, anyways, she was talking about how she's tired of telling everyone like, oh, I'm going to come back and all my content, like full steam ahead. I'm going to be on this schedule. It's going to be like this. And then something in life gets in the way and she's not able to do it. And I feel like my life has been very similar this year. I had like the best laid plans. And I feel like a lot of that has just not happened the way that I hoped it would. So, whether it was by choice, whether it was by mental changing, physical changing, jobs changing. Also, I, for those of you that didn't just find me from the podcast, because that also is a thing, some of y'all don't know, but I had a YouTube channel. It was called Chloe Taylor, my name, that was all about reading tarot cards. And I actually posted my final video there a month ago. And literally, it's been just over a month. And that was a very good, healthy thing for me to do. That has been such a good, I didn't realize how bad my mental health had gotten around that. And letting it go and deciding to just do what makes me happy and like literally doing it though without guilt, without shame. I couldn't have come to that decision any earlier. I don't think I like had to go through everything I went through to get to that point. But I feel like letting that part of my life go and truly deciding like, this just hasn't served me. It doesn't serve me. And yeah, like I'm going to have to disappoint some people, but like I would rather disappoint some people so that I can feel good with myself. And at the end of the day and the end of my life, all I've got is me. And I don't say that in like a nasty way. I say that in a very real way of like, at the end of the day, I need to be my own best friend. And I was not happy with what I was doing. I was not, and like I've had moments where it made me happy, but I honestly feel like the stuff we don't hear content creators talk about enough, in my opinion. There are people that do talk about it, but not people that are in it, that are like really popular, because I feel like it's kind of like a faux pas to talk about it. But I don't hear enough people talk about the mental battle that comes with an algorithm or with analytics or with like, humans are not supposed to have as many opinions about themselves and the world as we do today. We have not evolved to hold all of that. And I want to say it was Kalel, which bless, every time she comes back, I'm always like, girl, I love you so much. Just do you. Kalel on YouTube has talked about this very thing, where when people say things that like cause an issue, you kind of like take that in, and it becomes like this Rolodex that lives in your head of all the like negative comments that you've received. And you'll start to talk about something and then you'll stop yourself and go, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't talk about that because that offended this person." And I feel like with my tarot channel in particular, I really, really had that. It didn't feel like it was mine anymore. It didn't feel like this place that I came to just like share these beautiful things. It was in the beginning. And it got to a place where I myself had a toxic relationship with it. And I couldn't see a way out of it. I couldn't see a way out of it. And I could talk about this for hours. Like, this is something that is so much deeper than I am even able to just put into simple words, because this was like, I just closed like a 7-year chapter of my life and overall a 15-year chapter. Because even though this podcast gets uploaded to YouTube, YouTube is not my bottom bitch. It's not my bread and butter. For 15 years, I called myself a YouTuber. I was somebody that did YouTube for a living. And this is the first time in 15 years that I'm not doing YouTube for a living. My podcast goes to YouTube, and recently it got monetized, which is awesome, but I'm not making content specifically with the intention that this needs to blow up on YouTube. Cool story if it does, but it's not the ambition behind it. It's not my intention behind it. I'm happy just to have somewhere that I can come and yap. I love to yap, okay? I'm a yapper girl by nature. I love to yap. I could talk forever to anyone. I love conversing. And I don't know why I've ever thought that I like shouldn't podcast, because I think it's actually where I really shine the most. But in any case, I took 2 months off unintentionally, but I'm glad to be back. I don't anticipate that I'm going to take another break at this point in time. I anticipate that I will be here every Sunday. That is my plan. And at this point in time, I should have the time to do it. Like, in the present moment, there isn't any reason why I shouldn't be able to commit to that. So, every Sunday, that's my plan, every Sunday to be here, or maybe we'll do Monday. I don't know. I'm going to figure out the upload day. Whenever this gets uploaded is the day that we're going to go with. Can't decide if I want to do Sunday or Monday. I always kind of fall between those two. But that's the tea. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to. Y'all, did you see the queen herself, the princess of pop, the majesty of Disney, Hilary Duff herself, just put out a new single? She is currently recording a new album, and there's a little wisp on the wind that is saying that she is planning to go on tour. If Hilary Duff goes on tour, I'm going. There is no situation, no natural disaster. There is nothing that could keep me from that concert. Hilary Duff and Britney Spears, which I hope Britney Spears never performs again a day in her life, just because of the mental anguish, and like, she has had such a hard life. I did see her perform when she had her when she was in Vegas at Planet Hollywood. I did see her and it was like the best concert of my life. But bless Britney Spears, I hope she never performs again. Truly, I hope she just finds peace and for the rest of her life. But Hilary Duff, on the other hand, it's Britney Spears and Hilary Duff for me, my two favorite artists of all time. I just, oh my gosh, I feel like a kid in a candy store. It's Christmas Day every day. Her new song is a banger. I love it. I do feel like her vocals in it are a little weak, but she hasn't sang in like 10 years. How are we going to get mad at her for that? And I refute, if you are somebody that grew up with Lizzie McGuire and Hilary Duff, you better go listen to that song. I'm going to link it down below. Go listen to it. We are not letting the queen flop. We are not letting the queen flop. Okay. I feel like so many people did not listen to her Breathe In, Breathe Out album. I did. I think it's a great album. I honestly don't think she has ever released an album that I didn't like. Every single one of her albums, Metamorphosis, the Hilary Duff album, Most Wanted was good. Dignity. Oh my God. Dignity was one of the best ones. And then Breathe In, Breathe Out, which is the one that has Sparks on it. Who let her flop? Why were y'all letting Hilary Duff flop? I was there. Okay. I listened to that shit when it dropped. I was obsessed. She to me has never had a bad album and she will never flop. And so y'all better not be letting her flop. I'm going to literally put in the YouTube link for her music video down below and you better go watch it because Chloe Taylor sent you there and it's a good song. It's a good song. And like Hilary Duff has still got it. And she is, I'm so excited that she is going to come back and save pop because Lord knows we need it. In today's day and age, I feel like that is probably one of my biggest complaints is I'm a pop head. Like not, okay, let me rephrase that. I'm a bubblegum pop. Like that is of all the genres of music, bubblegum pop is my favorite kind of music. That and whatever Panic at the Disco is, which I think is what, like alternative, whatever Panic at the Disco is, that punk pop. Those are like, or like Fall Out Boy. I like them too. But to me, if I could only pick one genre, it's bubblegum pop. That is my favorite kind of music. And I feel like we in today's world just don't make it. Nobody makes bubblegum pop anymore. It's all like, don't get me wrong. I think they put some real industry crack in Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. That song is amazing. I feel like it fits the bill for me, but it's not bubblegum pop. It's not Hit Me Baby One More Time. It's not Metamorphosis, Coming Clean. It's not, yeah. I feel like bubblegum pop needs to have a comeback and my fingers are crossed because the first song, it's called Mature. She is not really giving bubblegum pop, but it's Hilary Duff. And so I respect it and support it anyways. I always say like, don't have idols. I would not say she is my idol in life, but her music to me, she can do no wrong. There is no music that she has ever put out that I did not like. Like all of her albums to me are pretty well no skip albums. And also Hilary Duff raised me. Okay. Lizzie McGuire, when I was a child, I would be sat on a Friday night. Whenever Lizzie McGuire would air a new episode, I was sat. Okay. She was my childhood. Love her to pieces. I actually recently rewatched the Lizzie McGuire movie. And also we were robbed. We didn't get to have the Lizzie McGuire reboot show that we were all promised when Disney Plus launched. Like they canceled it. And I'm just really upset about that. And I hope her resurgence into music, maybe we'll like get the ball rolling on that again, or maybe somebody else will buy it and we'll get to do it because, oh my God, a new Lizzie McGuire, especially if Hilary Duff is in it, I will be sat. I will be sat. There will be the wild horses couldn't drag me away. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had to turn that light off. It was hurting my eyeballs, but thank you so much for joining me. Please consider following the Patreon if you want to support the making of this show. Let me know what you want to see for future episodes. If you want to be featured in a big sister episode for the winter, make sure that you're following my Instagram because I probably will ask a question there. And then if you have like a longer thing you want to talk about, go ahead and head to my Ask Chloe section on my website, chloetaylor.com. I will link that for you down below if you have like a big sister thing you want to ask about for our big sister episodes. We do one every season, and it's basically like, what would I do about your situation? And I keep it anonymous, or like you can just ask for life advice about different things. And those are like some of my most popular episodes. I am starting to gather stuff for the winter episode. So be sure to go to the Ask Chloe section if you want to ask me something. And I'm not really doing social media anymore. You can follow my Instagram because that's the only one that I have considered keeping open. Um, Other than that, I'm not really doing social media, so don't follow me anywhere. I have Instagram and I have Patreon. And you can join my email list on chloetaylor.com, or you can book me for a private tarot reading or an astrology chart on my website, chloetaylor.com. But thank you so much for tuning in. I love and appreciate you, and I will talk to you in the next one. Please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And don't forget to follow your plan and not your mood. Okay, we forgot about that one. Don't forget to follow your plan and not your mood. All right, bye.